Charleston Market has the best energy. I'm really excited. I just have a really good feeling that it is going to be a great weekend, so we will see. Hi there, hello, my name is Jody and I'm the owner of Maison Camellia, a small batch textile studio located in South Carolina, and I am heading out today for the Vintage Market Days in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm going to give you a quick tour. I set it up a little bit different for this one. I had thought that I was going to do my checkout at the front, but I decided to put it to the back. I just like the way my table displays look when I set up my booth like this. So on this side I have the Charleston collection on the folding shelf, and then this side of the booth I have an assortment of my boxy bags and the mini pouches. And you guys, if you've seen my other videos, you've seen this before. So I did a very similar setup on this side with the strap bar at the very beginning here. And I'm showing a couple different sizes for this show, which I think is fun. I also decided to do that on the folding shelf up here at the front. I've typically just been doing a single pouch, but I thought I would try putting a couple different sizes on it for this show to see how well those go over. And I'm also doing 2 shelves of my mini pouches, and then the other shelves I'm just showing the medium and the large boxy bag displayed next to each other. And I've been getting so much good response from showing the boxy bags open like this. So I have one of each colorway displayed open, so they can see the interior right away. And then I have a few mini pouches here. Then I have medium pouches in the basket here, and a few extra large pouches and medium pouches in the back. And then this whole display up here are my stand-up pouches. And then this display here is all large pouches. And then this is something I've never done before, since I wanted to have the checkout in the back here. So I'm using my little vertical sign. I initially bought it to go on my tent leg, but I don't have a good way to hang it. So I have just draped it over the back table here, which I think looks nice. And I've kind of angled my little checkout station right here. And then I have my chair back there, which when you're kind of standing back, you can't really see it. So I like that. But I have the Charleston collection strap bar up here by the checkout. I just like having one of my strap bars by the checkout, because if someone's buying a pouch, I can ask if they want to add a strap, and they're right here by the checkout, which I like. And then on the side here, I'm just displaying another open boxy bag, some more pouches, and some of my lavender sachets, which are making the booth smell really, really nice. And then on this side, I've mainly focused on my book sleeves and bookmarks and reading ritual cards. So I've got those displayed here right at the front. And then an assortment of my book sleeves, showing how those can be used and what they look like when they have a book inside of them. And then I've got some more lavender sachets here, and my hardback book sleeves, which I had to make quite a few more of for this show. because they sold so well at my last market. And then I've got a few of my little mini dahlia trinket bowls, which I just think are so darling. And then I've got a couple of my large bowls and just a few pouches over here as well. And the paperback book sleeves in the basket here. And then I only have 6 totes at the moment, but I brought all that I have. And I'm displaying those with a coordinating pouch inside of the pocket. But I am so happy with this. This might be my favorite booth setup yet. Hello, good morning. So it is the first day of the market and it is around 9:40. The market has been open, I don't know, maybe for about 45 minutes because I think it opened at 9 and I have had one sale, but I'm going to turn the camera here and show you these lights that I have that came with my tent. This is the first time I am using them, but the tent, it actually has like little plug-ins on the center bar, and it has like a little battery pack that kind of slides up in there and powers it, which I just think is so cool. So this is the first time I am trying it out. Hi, good morning. Yeah, thank you. Welcome to Maison Camellia. Everything here is handmade by me.
Oh, so pretty.
Thank you.
People are bookmark. I love it. So is this just to look cute, or is there a purpose?
It could be used as a key fob, but all of my pouches and bags all have D-rings on the side, so you can mix and match and add it to the bags. But like I said, it also works perfect just as like a key fob
it's so cute.
as well.
Fun fringe kind.
Yeah. Thank you. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I pre-wash all of the fabrics, so you can everything is washable as well.
Here we are. We're into sewing too, but we still end up buying things.
I'm the same. Yeah, sometimes you want to treat yourself to something made by someone else.
That's true.
Want a gift for anyone?
I don't think I have anyone with anything coming up.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yes.
Are these together? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I love this. That's a great idea to like make it easier to pull.
Let's see.
Did the fringe on the inside. That's so cool. I love that.
Thank you.
Well, like I mean on like the inner part instead of the
I
full
see.
outside of the bag.
Okay. It's going to be $21.45, and you can tap it now.
Oh no, look, Mom, she does a bundle if you do the whole evening set.
I love that.
Yours is so well set up.
Thank you so much. And I do have a Shopify, so everything you see is available online, and there's a link to it on the back of the card. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, did you want a receipt for that?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. It's going to be $42.90, and you can tap it. And I will put one of my cards in the bag for you because everything is available online. Did you want a receipt? I can text or email you one. All right. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, have a great day. And I brought a couple of things to work on during this market. The first one is I just brought my stamp and my ink pad, and I have been stamping some of my bags, which for the larger bags it stamps really well. The smaller bags it doesn't stamp quite as nicely, but you can at least still read it, just it's not, the little house isn't fully catching, but I'll work on stamping some of those as I have time. And then I also brought some additional reading ritual cards. So I brought some ribbon that's already prepped, and I brought my hole puncher so that I can work on making some more of these if I need to. All right, so I thought I would do a quick check-in. So it's still Friday, the first day of the market. It's a little after 2 p.m. and so far I have had 12 orders, and my average order value has been really good. It's been a little over $60, so having a very good first day at this market. Yeah, if this is a sign of what tomorrow is going to be like, then tomorrow should be a really good day. All right, hello, good morning. So it is day 2 of the market, and it is just about 10 o'clock. The market did open at 9 a.m. for VIP ticket holders, but it's been a little bit of a slower start this morning, but there's a lot going on at the fairgrounds today. There's a local college who is having a graduation here, and they also have a huge flea market here each weekend. So some of the vendors around me who have done this market before say not to worry about that, that we still... Hi there, good morning. How are you today? Good. Thank you. And these are all handmade by me. And that's the inside of it, is the gingham right there. Yeah. Thank you.
You're very talented.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and those also work, that size will fit a Kindle, and then the hardback size will fit a standard iPad as well. Thank you. All right, so like I was saying, some of the surrounding vendors say that it doesn't affect traffic, that the Saturdays at this market are still typically really, really good. So I will check in as much as possible today, and what I'm actually hoping to do is just have the camera set up just like it is and capture some of my interactions today. So, and yeah. All right, so the traffic has picked up a little bit, and I've had 2 or 3 sales so far. I think just 2, or maybe, I honestly can't remember, but it's 10:30, so the market has officially been open to the general ticket holders for about 30 minutes. So it's finally picking up, and the last sale that I had, I asked her how the traffic was, because the traffic was a little bit heavy for me getting in here, but she said it wasn't bad at all, so that's good. And I don't currently have, I have a few more bags that I can stamp today, but I finished all of my reading ritual cards yesterday, so I may stamp some more bags a little bit later, but I'm hoping that today is going to be busy enough that I don't have to feel like I need to be working on something. Hello, good morning.
Hi there. Do you make those?
I do, yeah. Yeah, all handmade by me, and I pre-wash all the fabrics, so everything is washable.
You're so cute.
Thank you.
Finding the right people to appreciate.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So.
Yeah, they're not for everyone,
No,
but
yeah.
get out. I'm pretty I mainly do cotton and linen, and I'm pretty particular about how close it's woven and the quality and how it
I
feels.
made my daughter scrub caps. That's how this all started. She's like, Mom, we can wear our own scrub hats. So I made her the ones
cool.
with, you can put a ponytail in and then
Yeah,
you tie it around
yeah.
it. So I've made like 100 of them, send them to her, and she sells them at the hospital for me.
Okay, nice.
So, but yeah, I love your fabric.
Thank you.
There's a difference. So.
Yeah.
Beautiful job.
Thank you so much.
Good luck today.
Yeah, thank you. All right, it's always fun to get a fellow sewist in. They don't typically buy anything, but it is nice to chat with someone who understands what you're doing and the quality and the construction and the fabric choices and all of those things. So, and I'm learning, you just have, hi there, good morning. You just have to repeat the same things. You're saying a lot of the same things over and over again, which feels to me, it doesn't come natural because I am pretty introverted. So this is something I'm having to really practice and get comfortable with, just saying the same things over and over and over throughout the day. But it really does make a difference I'm finding. So I did want to just pop on briefly. So not quite noon, it's 11:55, and I have not made any other sales in this hour, but I've had a lot of people coming into the booth, and it feels like, and this is just me trying to kind of understand the demographics of the people who are at this market, and it seems like there's a lot more casual browsers today than there were yesterday. And that's one of the things that the lady, the vendor next to me, mentioned that she had noticed about Saturdays, and that's one of the things she said, just to kind of let me know that there would be a lot more casual browsers today, and maybe not necessarily in terms of percentage of people shopping versus just browsing. All right, so it is 3:30, and I said I would check in again this afternoon, and it is a weird market day, you guys. I had 2 really good sales when the market started this morning, and then I have not had any other sales for the rest of the day. And I would say there's maybe been less traffic, or maybe comparable traffic at the market today versus yesterday. Also, the demographic of the shoppers at the market today, I would say, is different than yesterday. Yesterday it seemed to be more, I would say, like girlfriends or like just friends out shopping for the day, like with the intention of shopping. And today it's been more of a more laid back browsing crowd. There's been a lot more families through today who haven't necessarily been the same fit as the shoppers who were purchasing from me yesterday. My battery is dying, so I don't know if how much I'm going to be able to record, but hello, it's Sunday morning. It is 11:20, and the market opened at 10 this morning, although since this is Sunday morning, it's kind of a slower start, but it's Mother's Day, and I have had 2 sales so far, so let's see. So we will see. I'm hoping today will be a little bit busier than yesterday, but I'm not going to buy anything else at this market, but I wanted to show you guys some earrings that I got from an artist. Her brand is Coupe and Deuce, and look at these beautiful earrings I got. So I got this red pair, and then I also got this really fun pair. I just love the colors. So the red, if I'm being honest, I mainly got to wear here in the booth because I just think with Maison Camellia and the whole French country vibe that my brand has, that, you know, red is quintessential. I think so is the navy, with that kind of French country vibe. So I think these will look great wearing them when I'm at markets, and these are just fun. I love these bright neon colors, so wanted to show those to you guys. Hello, good morning. How are you? Good, how are you? All right, so it is currently just a few minutes after 2, so there is 2 hours left of this market, and it's been an interesting day today. So I have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've only had 6 sales today, but each one of them have been really good. They've had a really high average order value, and there's just a couple of hours left here, and it does seem like a lot of people are just getting here to the market today. It is Mother's Day, and I know a lot of people probably wanted to go to church and get some lunch and things like that. So I'm thinking that maybe this last 2 hours is going to be a little busy. So we will see, TBD. But I do know a lot of people are just getting here. And oh my gosh, I've just been buying things left and right this market, but I just got these little pom-pom flowers, and I got them because they match the, you can see that, they match the pink that is in my branding. So I am going to add them to the decor, in my booth. So I just think they are so cute, and they add a little bit of color to my booth. But it has been, like I said, an interesting day. There hasn't really been a ton of traffic here, but people have been kind of shopping in clusters today. So anyway, I think I might just leave the camera running here for a moment and try and capture some footage for you guys. Yeah, I should have one that's that fabric. This one, let's see, I think it's behind there. Yeah, so that's the one that's that actual fabric.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I also have the classic style in that fabric.
I like the
as well.
ruffle.
I like the ruffle.
Okay.
I like the ruffle too. Yeah, I am definitely having a ruffle moment, as you can tell. All right, it's going to be $68.64, and it should be ready for you to tap it. Okay. Did you want?
Will you stick my
Yeah, I was going to say I'll drop one of my cards in there for you.
I always have a problem when I carry the little bags on my arm, then they like.
Do you want me to put this inside of the bag as well?
That'd be great.
And would you like me to email or text you a receipt?
Text is fine.
Okay. Perfect. All right, you are all set. Thank you so
you.
much. You have lots of help there. Do you want me to hold that for you?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want
I can put this back.
Sorry. Thank you.
It's okay, Mom. It's the end one, okay?
And this going to do it for you? Okay. All right, it's going to be $81.51, and you're paying with cash? Okay. Let's see. All right, so $18.49 is your change.
Thank you.
Yeah. And do you want me to text or email you a receipt? Okay. And I will put one of my cards in there. And all right, there you go. Thank you. All right, so that was really, really great. What did I even sell? I do not know. Yeah, so I just had 2 sales back to back, and that's kind of been the way it has been going all day today. It'll be a spurt where there's, and I guess that's typical for those of you watching who are more seasoned at doing these kinds of markets. This may just be the shopping pattern, but for me, these types of markets are still fairly new, so I'm still kind of learning what the flow is and how things go. And I'm just going to straighten up a few things. But the lady that just came and bought my last sale, I love it when that happens. She's someone that they came late. They didn't get here until, gosh, I don't even think it was 45 minutes ago. They came into the booth, and she said that they were going to walk around and that she would probably be back, and she actually came back. So, and they looked like they were heading out of here. And her poor husband, he's the one who paid. He looked like he was just already over it and ready to get out of here. They had a small toddler with them, so I think that's probably why. She had on the cutest little gingham skirt. All right, so so the stand-up pouch has been my best seller at this market, and then my medium-sized boxy bag has been the second best seller. Hi there. And then my accent straps have been my third best seller. I think this is the most straps that I have sold with the bags of any other market that I've done. Interestingly, some of the other markets I've sold more straps by themselves, and this market I've sold a lot of sets. Yeah, everything's handmade by me, and all the pouches are mix and match with the straps. And then my book sleeves also fit iPads and Kindles. The paperback will fit a Kindle, and the hardback will fit an 11-inch iPad. Yeah, you're welcome. I just love your floral shirts. Your shirts, yes, I love them. Yeah, I love it. And obviously I love florals, so.
I know there's so much more of it.
Yeah. And I love that. I'm all for that, for sure. They were so cute. It was a mom and her mother, and they have on like floral button-up. Not exactly the same, but similar blouses. Very, very pretty. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but like my allergies are really starting to bother me. And I know the vendor across the way, she's been having a lot of issues today as well. But I might have a decongestant. I'm just gonna take a look and see. I used to have a decongestant in here, but I think I've used them all. Oh wait, I think I do. I do. I have a decongestant and I have water, so I'm gonna take, because my voice, I feel like I'm starting to sound like a frog. Post-nasal drip, or all the things that you guys get to listen to me talk about. All right, so let's dive into the recap of this market, which I have to say, even though it was maybe not the highest sales that I've had thus far at a market, just something about this market made it my favorite market overall that I have done thus far. And I'm still new to markets. This was only my 5th market, so I'm definitely still getting my feet wet. But that said, with all the markets that I've done thus far, I just really, really like the kind of community of vendors associated with this market, which is one of the things that made me as a vendor just really enjoy participating in it. So it was a 3-day market, and it ran from Friday, May 8th through Sunday, May 10th, which was Mother's Day. And the application fee for this market was $385, which includes an operations fee and a fee for electric. And that was for just a standard 10 by 10 booth. And as you may have noticed from my setup video, I was able to arrive on Thursday and set up my booth. And I got to the venue around lunchtime, and we had until 7 p.m. on Thursday to be fully set up, and it was just so nice to be able to take my time and not be concerned about how long it was taking to get set up. So this was the most relaxing setup that I have done thus far, and I really did just allow myself to not stress out and to take my time, and because I can tend to get really anxious when I'm under pressure. So it was just really nice to not have that anxious feeling of having to get it like set up really quickly and be ready. So I took my time, met my neighbors, and after I got my booth set up, I even had some time to just walk around and take in the venue and look at other booths. So that was really, really nice. And let's see, setup and what I brought. So I really did bring pretty much all of my inventory that I currently have on hand for this market. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I think I may have left a handful of my medium-sized boxy bags here at home, but otherwise I brought everything. I brought everything that I had to this market, and I already knew that I was going to do a similar setup that I did at the Southern Pines market. And I had already, prior to this market, I had kind of gone back and forth about whether I was going to put my checkout at the front of the booth or if I was going to move it to the back of the booth, because it is fairly common at this particular market and just across Vintage Market Days markets that I have seen in videos and recounts that people have done from other locations. It's just really common for the checkout to be at the front of a booth versus the back. And I tried that with the setup, but it just really, I just feel like people feel, at least with my current 10 by 10 setup, I feel like people feel more welcomed to come into my booth without having me right up front. I feel like I personally feel like kind of a barrier to people coming in. It may not actually be that way, but that's the way I perceive it. And so I know if that's the way I'm thinking about it, that my behavior is maybe going to reflect that in some way. So I tried it, but ultimately decided that I wanted to move the checkout to the back of the booth, and I'm really, really happy with the way that turned out. And instead of putting it dead center on my back 4-foot table, I kind of angled it off to the side, so I was still kind of able to be out of the way, which was really nice. And I also tilted my tables in just a little bit, so I was still able to access behind those to be able to reach my tote bags. And I am just really, really happy with the way my booth setup turned out. I absolutely love my new navy tablecloths. I just think they make my booth so much more visually striking, and I feel like they make my products pop more. So I'm really, really pleased with those. I did not have time to paint. I mentioned in my previous video that I was going to paint my 2 folding shelves on either side navy blue, and I just did not have time to do that prior to this market, but I have that paint and I will be doing that prior to my next market. So yeah, that's my setup and what I brought for this market. All right, so what were people drawn to at this market? And I guess I'll say ironically, people were more drawn to my bags at this particular market. I wanted to make sure that I had my trinket bowls and the larger bowls that I had on hand, and I definitely wanted to make sure that I had the my new lavender sachets there, because if you've watched any of my other recaps, that's one of the things that I did not have at the Vintage Market Days Charleston, and I felt like it was a gap because I had so many people at that market telling me that they didn't need a bag. So for this market, I really wanted to make sure that I had other options for them. And at this market, I don't think I sold any sachets. I didn't sell any of my bowls. And yeah, I think what I sold most of at this market was my bags. So it's always interesting. It's just always interesting how that works. So with that, let's dive into what sold. So on Friday, May 8th, believe it or not, that was my best day. That was my busiest and best day of this market, and it started out with a bang, you guys. Like literally the first hour and a half, I was just having sale after sale, and it was amazing. So I had 15 transactions on that Friday, and the average order value between those was $54.93, bringing my total for today to just under $900. So I was really pleased with that. It was a beautiful, like such a strong start to this market, and a strong start, at least for me, for a Friday. And I did talk to some of the other vendors around me, and depending on what they were selling, their perceptions were, and their experience of Friday was a little bit different than mine. But there were quite a few vendors who had really great Fridays as well, and felt like this was going to be a really strong market weekend. And so my top sellers on Friday were my Beauty Berry boxy bag, and then my stand-up pouch, which is it's around the size, it's like a medium size pouch that has a boxed bottom so it will stand up. And this particular bag has not been my best seller, or I wouldn't say that it's sold particularly well so far at any of my markets, but it did really well at this market. So that was my second best seller on Friday, and then my third best seller on Friday was my hardback book sleeves. And so moving on to Saturday, you guys, I had such high expectations for Saturday because Friday had gone so well. There was really good attendance on Saturday, but the people, it was a completely different shopping experience, I would say, and a different customer mix. So on Friday, it really was a lot of girlfriends groups who it seemed like they were there to just shop and hang out and have fun and explore. So that was kind of the vibe and the main core shopper, I would say, that was there on Friday. And then Saturday, even though it was just as busy, definitely the mix of shoppers was very family heavy, and it seemed like it was mostly families who were not necessarily there to shop or to buy anything, but more so there to just get out and have an experience doing something together. So Saturday, I ended the day only having 2 sales for the entire day. But for whatever reason, I was just so happy. I was so happy on Saturday, and there were a few, and it was interesting because the mix of the vendors it was just a strange day at the market, or just, I don't want to say it was a strange or abnormal day at the market, but there was definitely, I would say, a category of vendor who had a really strong day on Saturday, and then there were other vendors like myself, and then the vendor directly across from me, she was an artist who had prints and original artworks for sale, and then the booth next to her was a vintage clothing booth, and both of those all of us did really well on Friday, but we all had a very similar experience on Saturday where our sales were much, much lower. But then the food vendors, and then the vendor right next to me who had home decor and florals and items like that, she had a fantastic Saturday. So it's so interesting to me how the dynamics of what sells and the mix of people that different days of a market attract, and how that determines which categories of booths tend to do well. So this is me. I love all the data and trying to figure out all of the psychology and the patterns behind everything. So if I'm boring you to tears right now, just go ahead and skip ahead. But yeah, I ended the day on Saturday with just 2 transactions, and the average order value though for those 2 transactions were $74. So and what I sold was my sellers. I sold book sleeves, and I sold my my boxy bag, my ruffle boxy bag. So that is what I actually sold on Saturday. So moving on to Sunday, which was Mother's Day. At this point, I really had no idea what to expect at this point, and talking to various other vendors who have done this market several times, they were like, Sunday can be the worst day, Sunday can be a really great day. So I just tried to go into Sunday with a positive attitude, and just not really knowing what to expect. Sunday was I'm pretty sure Sunday was a shorter day. But regardless, I ended Sunday with 9 transactions total, but I had the highest average order value of every other day of the market. My average order value on Sunday was $83.44. So I ended up making just over $800 on Sunday. And so my top seller for Sunday was both sizes of my boxy bags. I sold both the medium and the large size. And then my second best seller was my tote bag. And I'm trying to remember, I think I did end up selling two tote bags once again on Sunday. And then the third best seller was that stand-up pouch. Again, I almost completely sold out of those for this market. So overall, I ended the market with a total of 26 transactions across all 3 days, and just under a couple $1,000 in sales. And the total items sold across all 3 days was 45. So my goal for this market that I had set was I wanted to do at least $2,000 was kind of the minimum that I had set for this market, and I came just under that. But like I said at the beginning of this recap, there's just something about, I just love this market, and I'm going to give it another try. I've applied to do, they have one in November, which is the holiday version, and I also still have another Vintage Market Days, which is going to be the Coastal Carolinas one that is held in, I think it's in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And it's in October, I believe. So I met so many wonderful vendors at this market, and I truly feel like I finally really got a taste of this particular market, and it really is, it's just a beautiful community of people that come together and put on this market. And the people who have been doing it for years, it really is like a little market family, and there was just something about, I just really, really like that. It felt really, really good to be at this market. So I'm going to try the holiday one, and I'm going to try the one in the fall, and I'm thinking that if I do better at those, that it may just be that for this particular market, for my business, that I only do the ones that are in the fall and around the holidays, and I don't do the ones in the spring. But I don't know, because I was able to stay with my sister for this particular market, and I also have a nephew who lives in Raleigh who have offered to let me stay with them. That will be even closer if I decide to continue doing this market in the future, that I have a place to stay, which helps out a lot for the budget of this market. So we will see. Right now, I keep a spreadsheet of everything, of all the details of what I made, etc. And I'm definitely for now marking this particular market as that I will return, whereas the one that I did in Charleston, I decided that I would not be returning to that one. And it's really just because I do not have any connections close enough to Charleston that I can stay and not have that hotel cost associated with it. But I'll definitely be doing this one again. So what surprised me about this particular market or this experience, probably everything that I've just been going on and on about for the last few minutes, is that I finally feel like I kind of get what makes this particular market popular, and what it is about this market that vendors continue to return and do it. So yeah, I think that's one thing that surprised me. And I would also say, finally, I feel like, and I apologize, I don't know if you can hear, my neighbor's dog is barking, so it's distracting me a little bit. Hopefully you cannot hear the dog barking in the background. But one of the things that I came away with the Vintage Market Days in Charleston was this whole, I don't need another bag. I heard that so many times, I don't need another bag, I don't need another bag. And at this market, bags are what sold the best, and my Beauty Berry Boxy bag, which is my ruffled bag, sold really well at this market, and so that my little stand-up pouch. So it was just interesting. I think that's what surprised me, is that bags are what I sold the most of at this market, when, like I said, the last experience was just so many people telling me they didn't need another bag. So that was surprising. What is something that didn't land or did not go so well at this market? And honestly, for this particular one, I am really going to say there's really not much. I don't know. I just had such a positive attitude and I was just in such a good mood this entire weekend that I guess that's why nothing is really sticking out to me at the moment, because yeah, I was just in such a good mood this weekend and was just having so much fun with meeting with all the people. I met so many friendly vendors, and with that, let me grab the watercolor painting that I bought from Wood Moration as well. All right, so I'm still trying to decide, and I don't know, the glare is hitting it at a really bad angle, but isn't this so sweet? This is the Calico Kitty watercolor painting that I bought from her, and we have lots of cats. We have 8 indoor cats right now, and 3 of them are calicos. So of course I had to have this calico kitty that is outside chasing butterflies. So I'll put her information down below. I'll put a link to Coop and Deuce as well as Hibiscus Belle. So I think that's why nothing really is sticking out to me of what didn't land, because I just had such a great experience. And the lady next to me, her booth was fantastic, and she was absolutely so sweet. And I apologize that I did not catch the name of your business to share it with others. But if I can find out and remember your information as well, I will link it down below. Is there anything else that I feel didn't land? Just probably the takeaway, which is going to bring me into the lessons learned, is that this particular market, I'm still trying to figure out if it is a good fit for my brand and for my business. I definitely feel like this location and the market at this location is a better fit because it is a lot bigger than the one in Charleston. So I do feel like the size of the market makes a huge difference. So definitely the number of people attending it was much bigger. So that really does make a difference, the size of the market and how many people attend it. But I am still trying to determine if doing these markets in the spring, because so many people have told me that, and it makes sense when you think about it, that fall markets and holiday markets, that you tend to do better because people are shopping for the holidays, and people are spending a little bit more money because of that fact, because they are shopping for the holidays. So people who may not be ready to buy or ready to purchase in the spring, or may not be in that same shopping mindset in the spring, that's different in the fall and around the holidays. So it may just be that I only do this market in the fall and around the holidays. So I'm going to see how it goes with the one I'm doing in November, which is this particular, these same organizers, and then the one that I'm doing in Myrtle Beach in October is by the same organizers who do the one in Charleston. And my understanding is that it is a similar size to the one that I just did here as well. So we will see, and that will help me make my decision once I have those 2 additional markets under my belt. It really is, it's a learning experience, and it's a lot of work to do a multi-day market like this. It's a lot of prep work leading up to it, and then it's also, it's just time consuming because you are there for 3 days straight selling. What makes this market still feel worth it to me is that the days are short, so the amount of time that you are actually selling is not super long. So if this were a 3-day market that started every morning at like 9 and went to 6 p.m. or later each day, I personally don't think that I would find it worth it for the amount of sales that I'm currently having. But because the market does open a little bit later on the Saturday and Sunday, and because it does end on what I would consider to be the earlier side, so you still have part of the day to do other things or just to recover, because it for someone who's introverted like me, it takes a lot of energy to be in person sell. I absolutely love it and I enjoy it so much, and I'm having so much fun doing it, but it still is very, very draining. So where was I even going with that? Yeah, I think I was just saying I'm still trying to determine if it's worth it to do these 3-day markets for, let's see what I made, just under $2,000, which is still really good. If I divide that by 3, let's say $650 a day. So that's pretty good. It's worth it. No complaints here from me on that. And also, as I share these recaps with you guys, and whenever if I'm disappointed or didn't do as well as I hoped. It's not because I do not appreciate the people who are supporting me, the people who are coming to the market, that I don't appreciate you guys, but this is my business. It is the way I am currently making money right now. I don't have any other source of income. So yeah, so if there's ever any disappointment or anything that comes through in the way I am relaying this information, it really is just, I mean, it stems from that this is a business and this is the way I am currently making money. And yeah, I have bills and things and everything just like everyone else. So, but I'm loving it so much, and this is really just me trying to make good decisions for my business and gathering information and sharing that information with you guys so you can learn from it as well if you are doing similar markets or if you are interested in doing similar markets. So yeah. What I am changing next, so I've already purchased the blue paint, so I'm going to paint those shelves, because now that I've seen those blue tablecloths, I think painting those shelves blue is just going to make them pop, and it's going to make them look so much better. What am I changing next? That's really the only plans that I have right now. There's still a handful of other products that I am working on to add to my product lineup before the end of the year. I'm also starting to shop for and pick out the fabrics for my fall and winter collection. So I will stay tuned for that. But yeah, right now I'm just still very much enjoying doing these markets and getting information and learning and making money. Right now my business it's making money, and I'm starting to see the return from all of the effort that I have put in thus far. I've always done work that is related to design, and I have done sewing as a living in the past, which I'm working on a series of videos now, and I'll share more of that. But I'm not new to sewing and making things for sale, but I am new to selling them via markets in this way. And I'm also coming back to this after not having done anything sewing related probably for over 15 years. So anyway, with that, I'm going to end this video on that note. And if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. All right, everyone, take care.